WVIE 107.3 FM Charlotte, Amalia, Virgin Islands.
There's always ups and downs. Oh, but I can make it better. Yeah, I can make it better. Setbacks and turnarounds. But I can make it better. Every blessing is a burden. Every burden is a blessing. Cherish each moment, each precious moment you receive. Try to make it beautiful. Cherish each moment. Each moment is precious. It's precious. Precious. Time. Don't waste it. Time. You can never replace it. Nothing in life is promised. Nothing is guaranteed. Yesterday is gone forever, and tomorrow may never be. Don't worry, your mind. Don't worry, don't hurry, your time. Don't hurry, just be grateful, just be thankful. Some way, somehow, right here, right now. Cherish, make it beautiful. Cherish each moment, right here, right now. Cherish, make it beautiful. Cherish each moment you receive. I know the time, like a candle that burns. Time never returns. Everybody's got a mountain to climb. Everybody's got a river to cross. Every lesson that we learn, there's a blessing in return. Don't worry, your mind. Don't worry, don't hurry, your time. Don't hurry, just be grateful and thankful. Some way, somehow, right here, right now. Cherish, make it beautiful. Cherish each moment, right here, right now. Cherish, make it beautiful. Cherish each moment. Oh yeah. Every day that passes by, promise myself that I try to make it better. Make the most of the least and the best of the worst. Good times, bad times, joyful and sad times. Try to make it better. Take the bitter with the sweet. Victory with the defeat. Every blessing is a burden. Every burden is a blessing. Oh, cherish each moment. Yeah. Each moment.
Cherish each moment. This is H.T. Henry Tyler. How you doing out there, Virgin Islands? How you doing out there, Detroit, Highland Park, and surrounding areas? It's H.T. Henry Tyler. I'm on the controls right now, and I have a special, very special interview that we're going to be doing today with a legend in the Motown city of Detroit, as well as the world. He goes by the name of Mr. Melvin Davis. How you doing, Melvin?
I'm doing great today, Henry, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you and Timmy Tim to celebrate the history and the music of this great city. and to say hello to the audience streaming all around the world in the Virgin Islands.
Right.
And it's a great day here in the city. We've got about 85 degrees. And our immediate message right then was not the title tune, but the very first song on my new CD, Cherish Each Moment, because our most precious commodity is our time.
That's correct.
Run out of time, and I don't care what ideas you have, they're no good.
I got to get into the interview with basically a breakdown of Melvin Davis. Who is Melvin Davis?
Well, to start off with, I'm a very, very blessed person to have been able to grow up in the city of Detroit. I was born in Milledgeville, Georgia, but I came to Detroit when I was 3 years old. And to be educated and inspired by the energy and the enthusiasm and the talented people in this city is really what sort of carved me into being who I am today. So I am a writer, singer, performer, drummer, keyboard player, record label owner. So you can see that music is really in my blood and it's in my DNA.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
When you first started, okay, how did Melvin Davis step into the world of entertainment? What was his first engagement, we might say?
Well, music is the international language, and I like to say that it is the soundtrack of life. And I'd say I was very young when music really penetrated my fibers, so to speak, because growing up, and not growing up, but being born in Georgia and going back there several times a year because my grandparents lived there. We had a 300-acre farm right outside of Milledgeville, Georgia. And about, I'd say, a half mile from that farm, across the valley, was what they call a juke joint called Shady Rest.
Okay.
Little Richard, Otis Redding,
wow, James
James Brown, they all played at that juke joint. I'm about 7 or 8 years old. And I'm sitting on the back porch listening to Little Richard and the Upsetters just trembling. So that music really just penetrated my pores. And then, of course, I was influenced by some of the greatest singers, like, for instance, in this city, Jackie Wilson was my hero.
Right.
My favorite male singer is Jackie Wilson. My favorite female singer is Etta James.
Okay.
But to go to those shows back in the day, people would have to be in Detroit to understand the energy that was in the city at that time. And music was sort of in its infancy, and it was inspiring many, many people, and I was one of those people. So I started out dancing, going to the Greystone, the 20 grand.
Okay.
And
that's standard procedure.
And I was very good at it. Okay. As a matter of fact, it would come down to a guy named Tweety and myself, and Cecil B. Rabbit would be directing traffic, but the last two in the circle would be me and Tweety.
Okay.
But then later on, after I started to fool around with the piano a little bit and start to write a couple of songs, and then later after that, I went on the road with Cornell Blakely, who was a singer from the 60s. Some of the older generation might remember Cornell Blakely. And I went on the road playing piano with Cornell. And we were playing at a place called the Ebony Club. And the club was downstairs, but our place of residence was upstairs. So as I was playing piano, I wasn't that good, but I was good enough to be there. I was watching the drummer, and I was watching what he was doing. And I looked down, and I said, I could do that, because I was a ham bone champ and all that. So then Cornell and the drummer got into a fist fight.
What?
Yeah. Cornell won, of course. But then I said, Cornell, who's going to play drums? And he said, you are. What? So we went to town, rented me a set of drums. The first night, the peg came out of the bass drum. The bass drum rolled off the stage. I didn't care. I was a youngster having fun. But in any event, I've been playing drums ever since then. Okay. And I became a very accomplished drummer. And I was able to sing and play drums at the same time. And I think I was probably, if not the best drummer in the city that could sing, one of the top 3 or 4. Okay. Because there weren't that many.
Now, as far as your career goes, we know you're a writer. You're a producer. You're an artist as far as performing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can you remember back, what was the first song that you ever wrote, or the first song that you ever produced, or was it on you, or was it for another artist, or can you just drop some names of some of the people that you've worked with and worked for over the decades.
but your original question was, can I remember my very first song?
Correct.
And I absolutely can. I never recorded it except for myself, because back in the day, you could get into Yellow Pages and find a recording studio and spend $5 or $10 and go in and record an acetate, what they called it, acetate, and you would have a record that you could bring home and play on your own system, your own little record player.
Right.
So my very first song was called Happiness. As a matter of fact, I've never written a negative lyric in my life. And it was a simple little song, and it just kind of said the same thing over and over. You know, happiness, happiness, no more loneliness, just happiness.
Okay. All right.
But being a youngster like that, it was my very first song. But since then, I've written hundreds. And at that time in the city, you know, if you have a lot of talent, it can be a good thing, but it's not a good thing without opportunity.
Right.
And when I talk about the city, I know that most people know what happened here, but I like to talk about how it happened and why it happened.
Right.
And one of the main things, one of the main ingredients is opportunity. There was an opportunity in the city that if you had talent, between the clubs, between people like yourself, the DJs, because see, people don't understand, Motown is our crowning glory, but it never would have happened without this perfect storm. We needed the clubs because that's your first line of opportunity to present yourself to the public, to see if you really have anything to offer that they will accept. The next line, of course, is the DJs, because the record labels, we depend on you, like you depend on us. So it's a hand-in-hand thing. And without the DJs and without the clubs, Detroit never would have became the great music mecca that it is. I don't believe it would.
Right. Now, Melvin Davis, as a artist, can you give me basically some background as to maybe some of the groups that you might have performed with, or over the years, or have you always been just a solo artist?
I started out as a solo artist and as a band leader. And in the first band that I formed was called the Jaywalkers. And in that band was a gentleman that people might be a little bit familiar with, David Ruffin.
Oh, wow.
Before the Temptations, David lived with me for 2.5 years. As a matter of fact, a lot of people still think we're brothers because we dress alike a lot.
Okay.
And also in that band was Steve Mancha.
Okay.
He was the bass player. Also in that band was Tony Newton, a very accomplished bass player, but at that time he was playing saxophone.
Okay.
Also in that band was my cousin, Leroy Emanuel. I don't know if you're familiar, but if you remember the Fabulous Counts.
Yes.
Now, Leroy is probably the real king of funk.
Okay.
And he has a group now called LMT, and they just did 30 days in China.
Wow.
And if you look up LMT on the internet, you will see me performing with them because we did 19 gigs in 7 countries. And out of the Jaywalkers, there's only 3 members left. Of course, there's Leroy Emanuel, Tony Newton is still living, and myself. But David Ruffin has passed, and of course, Steve Mancha passed not too long ago.
Right.
But I used to think that there were thousands of us, but there was really just a couple of hundred of us, and there's not very many left.
Right.
Yeah.
And I noticed the Invictus label. Can you give me a little background as far as how you got involved with Invictus?
Well, I was with several labels in the city, and I started out on a small label off on Ryan Road. As a matter of fact, a young man they might be familiar with, Geno Washington, and I started out together at Jackpot Records, and I had a song out there called About Love. So I was with Jackpot Records. I went from Jackpot to Fortune Records, and Fortune Records people are very familiar with because they were pre-Motown.
Right.
You know, if you go back to Nolan Strong and the Diablos, Andre Williams and Bacon Fat, Nathaniel Mayer and the Village of Love. You know, these labels were very important because they are a part of the history of this city.
City of Detroit.
And Motown, like I say, everyone's proud of Motown. That's our crowning glory.
Right.
But that should not negate the contributions that dozens of other very, very talented people and record labels have made to cause this city to become the great music metropolis that it is.
That's very true.
And for people overseas to be, as a matter of fact, I had a revelation when I went overseas in 2004 for the first time, because I knew that our music was popular all over the world. But I did songs over there on stage that I had never sang on stage in my life.
Right.
Because I thought they wanted to hear Crawl Before You Walk, the songs that were really, really popular. No, Melvin, we
It
want to hear the
doesn't
old
work
stuff.
that way.
No,
Doesn't
no,
work
it
that
doesn't.
way.
And this music has been inspiring them for generations.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw so many people over there, like 2 and 3 generations. My son with me, and the kids were following him, and their parents were following me.
Wow.
And the whole thing just made me think, wow, I didn't see an argument or anything. People just wanted to dance and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And it just like came up in my spirit, like, why can't we have this in the city where it was born?
Right.
So ever since then, that's what I've been trying to, to help, to accomplish, to bring to light this great legacy that we have, and to pass it on to the next generation, because it's a source and an opportunity for the kids to have pride.
Right. Now
And
I know for a fact the crawl before you walk.
Yes.
That was with Eighth Day.
Eighth Day.
Eighth Day.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And we're going to be featuring a lot of the music today, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Okay. And if we would, can we cue up Eighth Day with Melvin Davis out front doing the lead vocals on it, and it's called "You Got to Crawl Before You Walk."
Great song, my first and only million seller.
All right.
Enjoy-
Melvin Davis,
enjoy,
right here
Detroit.
on WVIE.
I got a story to tell you about a little girl that I loved when I wanted to. Once I stayed away too long, and when I showed up again, this is what she put me through. She wouldn't answer her telephone and ring her bell, and she'd say she wasn't home. I asked her, baby, what do I have to do to get some loving from you? And she said, you got to crawl before you walk back into these arms of mine. That's what she told me, people. You got to crawl before you walk back into these arms of mine. Huh. But all my pride was much too strong. I couldn't get down on my knees and say I was wrong, but I needed her love. I couldn't stay off the street. I knock on the door and she'd only repeat, you got to crawl before you walk back into these arms of mine. That's what she said. She said, crawl before you walk back into these arms of mine. But oh, I tried everything to keep my pride. But people, I got weaker as the days went by. I needed her love much more than I knew. So I begged for forgiveness and asked her what I had to do. She said, break down. You got too much pride for one man. So I swallowed my pride. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I broke down on my left knee. And I kind of looked around to see if anybody was looking. And I broke down on my right knee. And you know what I did? I crawled. Yes, I did. Back into my baby's arms. Ooh, I crawled like a baby. Back into my baby's arms. One day your baby might say you got to crawl before you walk back into these arms of mine. 'Cause my baby told me you got to crawl before you walk back into these arms of mine. That's what she said, people. Crawl before you walk back into these Listen. Go get you some of your own so you can leave mine alone. Say it again. Go get you some of your own so you can leave mine alone. If I told you once, then I told you 10,000 times. Girl, I love you. Stop playing these games with my mind. You keep on telling me what he said, she said, they said. Tell them that I said, get you some business. Get you some business. Don't you think that it's time? Get you said somebody saw me somewhere with somebody messing around. Tell them for me, get you some business. Get you some business. Don't you think that it's time? Oh, go tell them for me, get you some business. 'Cause I ain't gonna let you run mine. I just can't do it, baby. No, no, no. Baby, you know what? You know what you need? You need a job. You know, something to occupy your mind. You got too much free time. That's why you're always dipping in mine. That's right. I mean, if you had more responsibility of your own, then you wouldn't have time to be getting in my business. You know, I mean, like if you had a car note, some insurance. Yeah, and you always got such a good idea. Well, here's a good idea for you. Get you some business. Stop wasting my time. Everybody needs some. Oh! Go get you some of your own. Go, girl. Go ahead on, baby. Get you some business. Go get you some. Hi. Go get you some. So you can be mine. Catch up with your crowd. That's what you ought to do, baby. Oh yeah. Get in where you fit in. Catch up with your crowd. You and your
Get you some business. That's what you should do. You just stay out of my business and get your own, and you be all right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the little message that I was trying to give on that song.
That's a good one. Melvin, we got a few calls. So if you don't mind, can we go to the line?
Absolutely.
Okay. Caller, you're on the air. Hello.
Hey, yeah, this is Kwame. How you doing, Brother Melvin?
I'm doing fine. Who's this?
This is Kwame. I play guitar. Back in the day, I was playing drums myself with a lot of different groups, you know, Michael Powell, those kind of folks and whatnot. But I was wondering, what is your projection of the music business for the future
Wow.
in terms of the popularity that it used to have?
That's a very good question, and that's a hard question to answer. And
Because you know, I think musicians never really realized the importance that the music had to our culture.
absolutely, you are so right.
It's a very, you know, like this bass player that plays. I forgot his name. Somebody, and back in the day, he's a bass player. He used to be a football player.
Yeah.
You know who
Larry
I'm
Lee.
talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you ever go to hear him, he for the whole set, he'll go back into all these tunes one after the other with no breaks. I mean, he'll take you through a history in music. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. I've seen his show or
Larry
part
Lee,
of it once. Yeah. Larry Lee and back in the day.
Right.
And it's great to have that type of representation, and because you know I've got a few sayings that I regurgitate a lot, and one of them is, you know, history not celebrated will soon become history lost. And you know, I realize, and as far as like the future of music, it's always difficult to predict the future in any instance. And then me personally, I have this thing where I live in the moment, because that's the only thing that's really real. You know, yesterday you've already had, tomorrow you hope you will receive, but what's really real is right now. And to try to predict what's going to happen tomorrow is going to come from what we do today. You know, if you listen to my album, you'll find out that I'm a pretty philosophical person, and since I'm 73 years old now, I really reflect a lot and try to. I've always been a truth seeker, but you know, if you live in the moment and prepare yourself. Another one of my saying is fail to prepare, prepare to fail. And opportunity presents itself all the time. But the whole thing is you have to be prepared to take advantage of that opportunity, and that's our responsibility. So I think the music.
You playing right now? I can come to see you.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let me mention that right now. With my, I got a 10-piece band, but 8 pieces will be at Cliff Bell's this coming Sunday, the 29th,
Okay.
and the remarkable, legendary Pat Lewis, who is, of course, lead vocalist for Hot Buttered Soul and accompanied so many people and assisted in so many careers. From Jackie Wilson, she sang on Higher and Higher, Your Whisper is Getting Louder, did a lot of work with Aretha Franklin, and of course her best work she did with Isaac Hayes. When you hear Shaft and somebody says, shut your mouth, that's Pat. So Pat will be doing some of her original songs. I will be doing a lot of my original songs, and I will be, as you said with Larry Lee, telling the history of this city as I'm singing, because there is.
Okay.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm gonna try to get down there this Sunday, and I'm gonna come down there just for you, man.
Well, thank you so much, man. I'll be looking forward to meeting you.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Quan.
Okay, have a
All
blessed
right.
day now.
Okay, I got another caller. Let's go to the line. Hello, caller. Are you there? Caller?
Hello,
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. How are you? Thanks
Okay.
for asking.
Who am I speaking to?
McKinley Jackson.
Oh my God! Hang up the
McKinley
phone. Hang up the
Jackson.
phone. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
just called in to say hello to you guys. You sound wonderful. I've been listening to you for quite a while, since you started, actually.
All right.
So,
McKinley, I remember.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Okay, I remember that you had an LP back in the day when I was a DJ at WGPR. I got a
Okay.
copy of McKinley
Back in about
Jackson
70
and the
about 72, I
Politicians.
think, about. That's
He
a
was-
long time ago, eh?
Yeah,
he was speaking. He was speaking of the politicians,
so,
McKinley.
You know, Melvin, I called in earlier, so you know it's great because when you called in on the phone, I was able to hear the whole interview on the phone before
Right.
I was connected.
Oh, that's great.
So,
Yeah.
You
that's
wouldn't
a
be
great
able
way
you wouldn't
guys
be able to
have a
speak until I put you on the air. So that's why you could hear it, but you couldn't respond
Oh,
until I put you on the air.
I see. Well, yeah, I just wanted to call in and give Melvin my best, and you too, Henry.
I appreciate it.
It's been a long time since I've seen you, but I saw Melvin last night, and we'll be together, I guess, Sunday night, right, Melvin?
Absolutely, McKinley. And I just like to say that on this new CD, it's called Double or Nothing, released on the Rock Mill label. And all of the horns, I was very blessed and very, very fortunate to have the assistance of one of the world's greatest arrangers, that is McKinley Jackson. He's an arranger, producer, writer, but world famous arranger. And he's also right now working with the Temptations, with Otis. And I'm fortunate enough to have him perform with me when he's not on the road with Otis. And as I say, some of these horn arrangements that you're going to hear, for instance, the arrangement
Hey,
on No More,
Melvin?
the arrangement on No More Water in This Well is one of your best, McKinley. I just love it.
Okay, and listen, I want to tell you the check is on the way. The phone is cutting in and out. Am I still on?
Yeah,
Yes,
you are still on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's a real pleasure to work with Mel. Well, you know, Melvin and I go back.
All the way.
Back, I guess, I don't even want to say, to the 60s, I guess.
Early 60s.
Yeah, so we've been together, how many years is that? That's about 50 years at least.
Yeah.
Back and forth, because Mel was playing, he was doing his thing with Smokey, and I was with the Motown Big Orchestra back at that time, and then we were together at Hot Wax and Invictus, the Holland in Holland.
As a matter of fact,
situation.
McKinley, you did the horn arrangements on "You Got to Crawl Before You Walk," I believe.
I did that. I did most of it. I did
Most of them.
I did the rhythm and the horns.
Okay.
On that one.
Okay.
That's a matter of fact.
Because people may not be familiar with McKinley, but McKinley.
Melvin, you, myself, I guess, with Tony Newton, Cornelius Grant, all of us go back a long, long, long time. You know.
Absolutely.
So.
And
I
to,
just
and
wanted to call in, guys, and give you my best, and I guess Melvin also to reinforce the fact that we'll be together at Cliff Bell's on the 29th.
that is this coming Sunday.
This coming Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard you talking about Pat, so we're going to have a great show between the musicians that we have. and Melvin naturally, and Pat. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do a couple instrumentals off of my album, Henry.
Okay.
The ones you heard back
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah. McKinley Jackson and the Politicians.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We kind of updated. Well, not too much. We stayed true to the actual vibe of the original recording, but just virtue of the fact that we're playing it with new musicians and with the new technology, the new sounds of the instruments, it gives it a little different flavor, a little different color, I would say. But I think everybody will enjoy it. I certainly hope so.
And since you did mention it, McKinley, we are working with some youngsters. It's like the next generation of legends. And we are the patriarchs, more or less, of this business now. But the Rock Mill Rhythm and Blues Band has some really great musicians. Of course, we have Matt on guitar, Todd on drums, Dave on bass, Drew Schultz on percussion, and we have a horn section, the 313 horns provided by Jimmy Smith, and of course McKinley wrote out all the parts and everything. But you know, it's really, really a band that represents the tradition that Detroit is famous for, and I'm proud to be working with these guys, and I know that McKinley is too.
And we appreciate you taking the time out, McKinley, to give us a call and to talk to us. And
well, listen, I'm glad I did get through. I wanted to tell you guys I appreciate you guys actually, and what you're doing is really a necessary thing in this day and time of forgetfulness. I guess just a time of a gap in between the history and the present day, which will lead to the future. And Melvin's been doing an excellent job here and abroad of sending that message out. That's why I'm happy to be a part of it. So I won't take up you guys' time. I know you got a lot of people calling in, but I just wanted to call in and say hello, best of luck, and I hope to see everybody this weekend.
all right. And what we're going to do, as a matter of fact, Melvin was saying No More Water in the Well is the cut that we're going to go to next. And you did the arrangements of the horns and everything on it?
I certainly did.
Okay, we're going to feature that right now, right here with our special.
Well, listen, my pleasure, guys.
And thank you very much for calling in.
Okay, take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
We stop giving, love stops living. When we stop trying, love starts dying. I'm trying everything I know to make you see. But I guess it just wasn't meant to be. I thought I could change you, oh, but you changed me. Now I see you can give too much. You can love too strong. You can try too hard. Oh, and stay too long. I think I stayed too long. Ain't no more water in this well. Ain't no more water, babe. It's a sad thing, but ain't no more water. No more water, girl. Oh, tried and I tried and I tried and I tried. Ain't no more water. Still, everything we had is gone. Strides of bone. Hey, gave all I had, did all I could. Yes, I did. Time after time, I did more than I should. How much is too much? Too much for me to take. How long is too long? Too long to wait. Tell me, sometimes the mountain's too high and the hill's too steep. The river's too wide and the water's too deep. You can give too much. You can love too strong. You can try too hard. Oh, and stay too long. I should have been gone. Ain't no more water in this well. Ain't no more water. It's must go, but my heart says stay. I know it's gonna mean heartache and heartbreak either way. Hey, oh, honey, there's nothing left to give, nothing left to say, nothing left to do that I haven't already done. Hey, so many times before. Ain't no more water in this world. Ain't no more water. There's nothing left to say, nothing left to do. Got to turn and walk away.
Ain't no more water in this well.
I have a special affection for that song because I think I was able to put certain thoughts and feelings in a way that I certainly have never heard or have never done before. Like when it comes to the bridge, it says, you can give too much, you can love too strong, you can try too hard, and you can stay too long. Sometimes you got to know when to leave. Otherwise, you can hurt yourself really bad, you know?
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that song is about a guy who didn't want to leave.
Right. Heart says one thing,
And
the mind says another.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I put that right in the lyrics. You know, my mind says go, but my heart says stay, even though I know it's going to mean heartache either way.
There ain't no more water in
There ain't
this
no
well.
more water.
Some things you just don't do.
Some things you just don't do. You got to
Give me
make
an
up your mind.
explanation on that one.
Well, you know, like I heard a man one time, he said, you know, you can be your own best friend or you can be your own worst enemy. And in the beginning of this song, I heard a wise man once say, everything good to you ain't good for you.
Go say it now.
Sometimes, each one of my songs, you know, like I say, I really think about my lyrics. I don't just write them off the top of my head. It's sort of like I deposit them in my system, and then some wise, loving force explains everything to me, and then I just pass it on to people who love music.
Okay.
And that song is, once again, it talks about sometimes you got to look in the mirror, and you might see the source of your problem right there. And then it's up to you to make a move.
All right. I'm going to experience, or let the audience experience that particular song. Matter of fact, we did not mention that the Melvin Davis CD that's out is called Double or Nothing.
Yes. And it's
Double or Nothing.
And it's available on CD Baby, iTunes, most of the search engines. But if you'd like a physical copy here in Detroit and the surrounding areas, it's also available at Found Sound Record Shop in Royal Oak on 9 Mile, just west of Woodward. And it's available at Melodies and Memories.
Okay.
On
With
Gratiot,
Chris?
and also with Chris out at Street Corner Records.
Right.
You can get a copy there.
Okay. All right. So if you would, Tim, let's go to Some Things I Just Don't Do. This is Melvin Davis as we feature his music, his life, and his career right here on WVIE.
Thank you. Enjoy.
You know, I heard a wise man once say, everything good to you ain't good for you. I think now I understand what he meant. Listen. I've got to put this love affair on ice. I can't get bit by the same dog twice. Hurt me one time, shame on you. Hurt me 2 times, shame on me. I know what you got on your mind. I know your game, 'cause I've seen your kind. do some things I just don't do. Some things I just don't do. Some things I just don't do. One of them things. One of them things. One of them things. I ain't a real fool, baby. I don't care what you say. Don't care what you do. Some things, Lord, I just don't do. One of them things. Oh, one of them things. Oh, some things I used to do.
Some things you just don't do. You know, that's in my vocabulary now. you know.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, because we've all been there and we've all done that.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
Yes.
my Melvin Davis. It's from the
Now-
LP. I mean, from the. well, you see where I'm from. It's from the CD entitled "Double or Nothing."
Yes, and that's another horn arrangement by the fantastic McKinley Jackson. And the background is done by a group of girls right here in the city of Detroit, DPS, Diane, Ping, and Shirley. And I want to give them a shout out because
right.
they did some wonderful background work on this album, on this CD. I'm doing a 2 album.
All right. All
And
right.
I appreciate all of them. And, of course, that's the Rock Mill Rhythm and Blues Band playing live. And, of course, the fabulous guitar work of Mr. Matt Thibodeau.
All right. We're going to go to the phone line again. Let's see. Hello. Are you there?
Oh, I'm fine. How you guys doing?
Hey, is this Ordinary Joe?
Yes, it is.
Ordinary Joe. What did I tell you before I put you on the phone? What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
You tell me.
Because
every
I
time,
knew
sir.
you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it. Turn your phone, your equipment down. It's
Yes,
feeding
sir.
back, brother.
And don't run across
Don't-
the set.
Let me tell you.
Tie my
Me and you
shoes
gonna
up
fight.
before I
Me and you
go
gonna
off.
fight. One thing, some things we just don't do, and that's turn your radio up when you're trying to talk on the phone.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Now, may I speak, sir?
Yes, sir. You may. You may.
Anyway, I would like to say a good day to the gentleman. What's your name?
Melvin Davis is his name, sir.
Melvin Davis. And was the record that was just playing, was that some of your music?
Yes, sir.
Now, vocally, it sounds a lot like Johnny Taylor, and the guitar sounds like Johnny Guitar Watson.
Well, you know what? I consider all of that an extreme compliment because I have written songs for Johnny Taylor. And if you were listening a little bit earlier, you may have heard Get You Some Business. And I was going to give that particular song to Johnny Taylor, but he passed away, unfortunately, God rest his soul. But, yeah, the style that I write in is several styles. As a matter of fact, I stress the fact that I'm not just one genre. I am soul, rock and roll, rhythm and blues. And that's what this album and this CD contains.
Oh, okay, that's great. Well, I also wanted to tell you that Billy Davis, the guitarist for Hank Ballard, and the Midnighters,
Yeah.
he loves your music.
As a matter of fact, we did a radio show together, and I had an opportunity to meet him for the first time. It must have been just a few months ago. Tremendous guitar player and has a tremendous history, and he's a credit to this great city of Detroit.
Oh, okay. Well, he wanted to say how much he loves you. And we were just in Vegas over the weekend,
Uh-huh.
and on the bill was a cat named Pete Peterkin. He was a doo-wop artist, and there was another guy named Bruno Hernandez,
Okay.
who happened to be Bruno Mars' father, and Jackie Wilson's son was on the bill, Henry.
Mm.
And
Well, you know,
talking about a nostalgic breakdown.
I just met
All I did
Jackie's
was
son.
sat back and melted in the chair and listened to these guys. Man, he took me back from 1955 to 1970. But I wanted to ask you, Melvin, have you ever played any music with Phil Upchurch, the guitarist? And where is Phil Upchurch?
I have never had the opportunity to meet Phil Upchurch because actually he's not from this city. I think Phil Upchurch is, I'm not sure, either he's from Philadelphia or Boston, I believe. But I'm definitely familiar with Phil Upchurch because that's from my era. He was You Can't Sit Down and several other songs that
Right,
he had out
right.
there. Yeah.
Do you know he helped co-write the song "Breezy" with Bobby Womack and George Benson.
Okay.
Also also Jimmy Ponder and Melvin Sparks. But let's not forget Richard Groove Holmes.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. You're bringing back some memories to me, and these are names. A lot of these people have passed on. That's why I like to let people know that there's really not very many of us left. And Pat Lewis and myself, we were fortunate enough to be inducted into the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame this year. Mm-hmm. And that was a very, very humbling honor. And I'm just so pleased and proud of the fact that some of these people that have received no recognition in this city to finally get some recognition, because everybody's effort is important. Just because you haven't made the monetary success, that some other artists have, it should not take away from your creative effort.
Joe.
Oh, okay, great.
Joe.
Well, what I want to do is I want to get off the phone and let somebody else call. But I want everybody to know that's watching and listening to this guy, man, oh, man, oh, man. You are, it's just amazing how artists can go unnoticed for so long and make such incredible contributions to music. Thanks, Henry, for letting me call in.
All right.
Let me just say, Joe, that how much I appreciate what you just said, because you didn't have to say that. And I think the reason that you said it is because you actually truly feel that way.
Well, I'm gonna have to leave you. I'm gonna have to leave you with Terry Collier. You ever worked with Terry Collier?
Terry Collier? No, I'm not familiar with that name. Now, he might be a little bit younger than me. How old is he?
I'll tell you about Terry Collier.
How old is Terry? How old would he be now?
Terry passed.
Right. I'm gonna let you go. I'll let Henry tell you about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a jazz.
You know what, Henry?
Jazz artist. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take my phone off of mute if you don't leave me alone.
Okay. Well, you need to take your radio and put it on mute when you call in. That's what you need to do. Okay, Joe. You take it easy, sir.
Right.
All right.
Tell Mr. Keys I'll see him later.
Okay. Have a good one now.
Yep.
That's Ordinary Joe, one of our favorite callers that normally calls in to voice his opinion about different subject matter that we have. As we continue with Melvin Davis, Melvin, it's the time is going real fast. I still want to feature a couple more of the songs that's on the album. Mm-hmm. WCTP. Give me an explanation of that.
Well, that particular song I just wrote as it was very quickly done, and it developed into like an anthem. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I sort of developed it, to get some crowd participation. But I recorded this particular song in Austria with my cousins Leroy Emanuel and LMT, his band over there. Tremendous band, really good band. And we needed some background. So we were in a brand new multi-million-dollar studio, and what the guy did was he brought in about 35 or 40 German girls to sing background on this song.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right.
So this song was recorded in Austria, and we will be doing this song and many more from the album, and of course a lot of my older stuff and earlier stuff. But this song is a party tune, and WCTP simply stands for We Come to Party.
Here it goes. My Melvin Davis from the CD, Double or Nothing.
And check out the bass line.
Well, it's Friday, and I've worked all week long, just like you. Sometimes the boss won't leave me alone, won't cut me no slack, won't get off my back. Gotta release this pressure, yeah. There's a one way I know we can come together at night. Sing with me, WCTP, WCTP. We come to party, we come to party. WCTP, WCTP. We come to party, we come to party. WCTP, WCTP. We come to party, we come to party. WCTP, WCTP. We come to party, we come to party. I don't mind, have yourself a good time. Oh, you know it's alright. 'cause we gonna have a good time tonight. Hey, 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 hey. Think I'm playing with you. If you don't know, better ask somebody. Come on! Yeah, yeah. WCTV. We come to party. We come to party. WCTV. We come to party. Well, I don't mind if you have yourself a good time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all right. 'Cause we come to have a good time tonight, tonight. Wait a minute. We really want to have a good time. You're gonna need 3 things. I got it. I don't leave home without mine. Hey, you got to have. You got to have. Do you feel me? Do you feel me? Oh, soul, rock and roll, rhythm and blues. You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. Soul, rock and roll, sing. Everybody come on, everybody else. Soul, rock and roll, rhythm and blues. All night long, don't let nobody stop you now. Soul, rock and roll, rhythm and blues. Oh, feels so good. Do it again. Oh, soul, rock and roll, rhythm and blues. Ah, you can't lose if you do.
WCTP. We come to party.
Got
Get
some
on
soul,
down and
rock
party.
roll, rhythm and blues.
Let's go to the phone line right quick. I think we have another caller. Hello, who am I speaking to? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello, this is Pat Lewis.
Pat Lewis, how you doing?
Yes. Hi, Henry.
You all right, girl?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
Oh, it's been a wonderful show.
Melvin has been just giving you all kind of accolades up in here today, as far as what your career is all about and the talent that you are. And I just wanted to tell you that I really enjoyed you at the R&B Hall of Fame. And
Well, thank you.
and congratulations to you also. Also, you and Melvin, congratulations to you being inducted into the R&B Hall of Fame.
Well, thank you very much. I said, oh, somebody recognized me.
Yeah, but Pat and I go way
Yeah.
back. We were
So
with the.
hopefully we will see you Sunday.
Hopefully, yes.
Uh-oh.
Give us the information as far as where you're going to be and the times and
We're
everything.
at Cliff Bell's
Okay.
on Park Avenue downtown.
Right behind the Fox Theater.
What time is the first show, Mel?
9 or 9:15.
So there are going to be 2 shows?
Going to be 2 shows, yeah?
Okay. Well,
And we are going to be, what I like to say, is celebrating the history of this great city. And Pat and I both have extensive involvement in the history of this city, this great music metropolis. And Pat has probably sang background, I tell people all the time, but they don't believe me, probably about 20,000 recordings. And that's not like an exaggeration. And, of course, she's had many recordings out and where she was singing lead on, and she will be doing those, and among which one of my favorites is The Loser. And, of course, she'll be doing Can't Shake It Loose. Yeah. You ain't going to shake it loose, is you, Pat?
I didn't hear you.
I say you going to shake it loose, Pat?
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm already into something.
I know that's right. Into
can't
something I
shake it
can't
loose.
shake loose.
Do that.
Well, Pat, we want to thank you for calling in. We're a little down on time because I want to get this last song in from
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing CD, and I look forward to seeing you Sunday I'm
Okay.
I'm definitely going to try to make it. I have a situation at home that I got to take care of, but if I can get away, I'm definitely will be there and be there to support you and Melvin and all of the other crew that's going to be there that night.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you. Just
Okay.
say I'm here, okay?
Yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure talking
All
to
right. I love you,
you.
Henry.
Love you back, Pat.
I'll talk with you later, Melvin.
Okay, I will see you a little later. And, of course, we're going to rock the house on Sunday, the 29th at Cliff Bell's on Park Avenue downtown. Come on out and join us, and let's celebrate this city and
All
its
right.
history.
Right. Okay. Any last
soul.
word? Go ahead. Go ahead,
Rock
Pat.
and roll.
Soul,
Rhythm and blues.
rock and roll.
Rhythm and blues.
All right.
Okay, bye, guys.
Okay. Take care, Pat.
Love you, hon.
Any last words before we get out of here, Melvin?
I would just like to say
The
that
legend.
I would just like to say that I am very, very proud of you guys here to continue to be the community representative that you are, because we definitely need that, and all of the people that put their energy and their effort into keeping this music and furthering it, because the city is coming back. This shining city is definitely coming back. It's rising, and everyone can see it now. I've been saying it for years, but now it's totally visible. But I just want to make sure that this music is represented properly in this rise. And, because really what this music represents, it's more than music. I like to say this. Northern soul and the soul of this city and the music that we produce and that we make, it's more than music. It's a way of life. Mm-hmm. And that music from the 60s, what they're really trying to do is like recapture the energy, the essence, the optimism and the innocence of the 60s. And that's what we should try to do, just to keep that spirit of Detroit, the energy and the positiveness alive. And that's what this song is about that we're going to do right now, Double or Nothing. It's about the undeniable resilience of the human spirit. Lift up your wings and let your spirit fly.
Melvin Davis, words from Melvin Davis. We thank you for taking the time to come out and spend time with me, Melvin.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. I
Until
love you,
we see
Detroit.
Till we see you again.
And to whole world, we want to say love, truth, and victory.
That's exactly what it's gonna be. True or fiction. You're a part of everything that lives and breathes. Destruction of the people, so the system can survive. The truth is we're killing everything that keeps us alive. You'll never know what you can do till you try. Lift up your wings and let your spirit